Soapbox Studios.
The world expected to see a broken tyrant begging for his life. They wanted him to tremble, they wanted him to cry, but in that execution chamber, the script was flipped. Saddam Hussein didn't scream. He didn't plead. Instead, he looked his executioners in the eye and smiled. In his final seconds, he delivered a line so cutting, so defiant, that it haunts his enemies to this day. What gave a man standing on the gallows the audacity to laugh at death? That defiance didn't start at the end. It began the very moment he was caught. After his capture, Saddam Hussein was taken to a heavily guarded US military base near Baghdad. When CIA officers entered for questioning, Saddam didn't look afraid, only calm, almost amused. One investigator asked him, "Are you really Saddam Hussein or one of his doubles?" Saddam smiled faintly and replied, "You are looking at the real Saddam Hussein. There is only one Saddam." By mid-2004, the stage was set for his public trial. Saddam Hussein's first hearing took place on July 1st, 2004. When asked by the judge to identify himself in his first appearance before an Iraqi judge, he boldly answered, He questioned the legitimacy of the tribunal set up to try him. He called the court a play aimed at George Bush's chances of winning the US presidential election. He emphatically rejected charges against him. He said, "This is all theatre. The real criminal is Bush." Also during the arraignment, Saddam defended Iraq's August 1990 invasion of Kuwait and referred to Kuwaitis as dogs who were trying to turn the women of Iraq into cheap prostitutes. On the 19th of October 2005, Saddam's second hearing took place, and this time he crossed every limit of disrespect.
الامريكان فلا تقدر لا انت ولا ابوك يجيبني الى مكان الثلاث. هذه مو محكمه هذه
تنطينا اسمك لو لا؟
لا ما انطيك اسم. لانه اسمي معروف للعراقيين وللعالم. وعاش شعبنا العظيم وامتنا المجيده وعاش المجاهدون. صيحوا الشاهد شاكوشك على راسك.
ظل واقف نتلو قرار الحكم. ظل واقف.
نعم
واقف نتلو قرار الحكم. استمع الى قرار المحكمه واقفا.
اسمع القرارات.
اي واقفا. كن واقف.
لا قاعد.
اوقف. وقفوا.
جالس. يلا لا تطويل.
يلا جوزوا منا. جوزوا منا.
لا تطويل. حكي وياك.
قررت المحكمة الحكم على المدان صدام حسين المجيد بالإعدام شنقا حتى الموت لارتكاب قتل عمد كجريمة ضد الإنسانية وفق المادة 12 أولا أليف بدلالة المادة 12 أولا ثانيا ثالثا رابعا من قانون المحكمة الجنائية العراقية العليا رقم 10 لسنة 2005 وحددت العقوبة وفق أحكام المادة 406 من قانون العقوبات رقم 111 لسنة 1969 المعدل بدلالة المادة 24 من قانون المحكمة الجنائية العراقية العليا رقم 10 لسنة 2005 قرارا حضوريا وبالاتفاق. ثانيا الحكم على صدام حسين مجيد
نحن أهلها
بالسجن 10 سنوات ارتكاب إبعاد السكان وفق المادة 12 أولا بدلالة المادة 15 أولا ثانيا ثالثا رابعا من قانون المحكمة الجنائية العراقية العليا رقم 10 لسنة 2005 وحددت العقوبة استنادا لأحكام المادة 421 من قانون العقوبات رقم 111 لسنة 1924 من قانون المحكمة الجنائية العراقية العليا لسنة 2005 قرارا وبالاتفاق
كل الذين انحرفوا
المجيد بالسجن 10 سنوات لارتكابه التعذيب كجريمة ضد الإنسانية وفقا لأحكام المادة 12 أولا واو بدلالة المادة 15 أولا ثانيا ثالثا رادية العقوبة استنادا لأحكام المادة 333 من قانون العقوبات رقم 111 لسنة 1969 المعدل قرارا بدلالة المادة 24 من العليا رقم 10 2005.
الله أكبر.
رابعا تنفذ العقوبة الأشد بحق المدان استنادا لأحكام المادة 142 من قانون العقوبات رقم 111 لسنة 1990 المعدل قرارا حضوريا قابلا للتمييز
The verdict, death by hanging. Saddam Hussein's death sentence came from a single brutal episode in his rule, the Dujail massacre. He was found guilty of ordering the arrest, torture, and execution of 148 Shia civilians after an attempted attack on his motorcade. It was this massacre, more than anything else, that ultimately led the court to sentence him to death. After being sentenced to death, he requested that he be executed by firing squad instead of hanging.
لابد أن نصدر حكم على صدام حسين ويكون الحكم بالإعدام. فتذكر أنه صدام حسين عسكري. الحكم بالإعدام يصير عليه رميا بالرصاص وليس شنقا مثل أي مجرم عادي.
He argued that this was the proper military punishment for a former commander-in-chief of the Iraqi armed forces. The court rejected his request without hesitation. During his final hours, Saddam Hussein remained openly defiant. Witnesses recalled him repeatedly shouting, "Down with the invaders!" Just before the execution, one of the officials asked Saddam whether he felt any fear or regret. Saddam lifted his chin and replied calmly, "No, I am a soldier, and I fear nothing for myself. I have spent my life in jihad and resisting aggression. Anyone who walks this path must not be afraid." According to those present, Saddam appeared calm, proud, and openly scornful toward his captors. As he was brought to the gallows and the noose was prepared, Saddam raised his voice, "Allahu Akbar, the Muslim Ummah will be victorious. Palestine is Arab." He also urged Iraqis to continue fighting the American forces, even in his final moments. Once the rope was placed around his neck, several guards, supporters of the Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr, began shouting, Saddam laughed, mocking them, and asked, The room then split between two prayers. Some guards recited a Shia invocation while Saddam recited the Sunni version. At one point, an observer yelled, Saddam immediately shot back, "To the hell that Iraq has become today." Another masked guard shouted at him, "You destroyed us! You killed us! You made us live in misery!" Saddam answered without hesitation, "I saved you from misery. I destroyed your enemies, the Persians and the Americans." Watching the chaos, Deputy Prosecutor Munkith al-Faroun intervened, telling the guards, At that moment, Saddam began to recite his final declaration of faith, saying, "There is no God but Allah." But just as he was about to say, "And Muhammad is his messenger," the executioner released the trapdoor. Saddam was not allowed to finish the kalma. After several minutes, a doctor approached, placed a stethoscope on his chest, and listened. There was no heartbeat. The rope was cut. His body was placed in a coffin. Saddam Hussein was gone. The people standing around the gallows erupted into cheers. Shouts filled the room. To them, this brutal end was Allah's justice.